Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and welcome to the final Commissioner's Corner of the Yorktown Bros fantasy football season. Jeffrey Sherratt, Mr. I Hate My Team himself, is our new champion. And since there's been a little lack of analysis these past few weeks, I feel like I need to give a rundown on how he got there. The last 2 weeks of the regular season, Jeff went 0-4, stumbling his way into a 4-way tie, barely sneaking into the playoffs. One difference in a win or loss or a top six or a bottom six all season long, and he would not even have made the playoffs. In weeks 13, 14, and 15, he averaged under 100 points. In that same time frame, Zach's team averaged around 140 points, and my team averaged around 160 points. Then, in the first round of the playoffs, the third of the 3-week stretch, Jeff, mediocre performance. Zach and I would have beaten him handily, but he goes against Skip and pretty much gets a bye week in the first round of the playoffs. Then in the next 2 rounds, Jeff averages over 150 points a week and beats Zach and I by a combined 110 points. He almost doubled Zach's score in the final round of the playoffs. This team treaded water all season long and then struck at the most opportune time to absolutely demolish the clear 1 and 2 seeds from the regular season. T. Higgins scores 35 points, pretty much neutralizing the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase stack that has been so dangerous for Zach the second half of the season. And Jeff ends with the number 1 and number 3 running backs on the season. Also of note, Jeff started the top 3 scoring wide receivers on his team in the championship round. That might be the first time that's happened all season for Jeff. Now, I don't know what else to say here about Jeff other than I think an over-under needs to be set for the amount of seconds before truck nuts end up on our trophy once that trophy gets into Jeff's hands. Now, I know no one cares about the third place matchup, but I feel like I need to say something regardless, because Brittany ran me down and beat me by 0.24 on the final drive of the fantasy football season. This is the second time this season. Just got a text from Kelsey saying she was rooting for Brittany all along. So that's fun. As I was saying, this is the second time that Brittany has not partaken in waivers and just picked up a random quarterback right before the game start and beat me anyway. Also of note, I started the Colts defense that scored -4 points. I picked up this defense almost a month ago, holding them on my bench specifically to start them in the championship round, and they scored -4 points. What a fun way to end the fantasy season. Now, for the matchup people actually care about, the Toilet Bowl. And it is official. We have a first to worst season out of Chase Brown. 2 years in a row, Chase has won the trophy with large asterisks, but we never knew how large those asterisks were until we saw this season where he gets last place in his first year without Brian O'Shea's help in the last 3. This team, not good. Even with Baker scoring almost 35 points, Chase couldn't break 100. And on his bench, he had 5 other running backs that he was potentially going to start. None of them scored more than 3 points. Now, Chase got last place while being extremely active in waivers and free agency. I did some calculations. The average amount of free agent or waiver moves this season in our league was 30. Chase had 60. Clearly the highest in the league. And this is his final product. This was the team that he came up with after 60 moves. Surprisingly enough, Jeff had the lowest amount tied with the Priors. He had 18 moves this season. That's our champion. Just treaded water, as I said. At one point, after multiple trade attempts, there was a week where he was throwing out a pretty pathetic lineup, and he let me know, I'm just going to sit on this lineup because I'm playing Chase this week. We'll talk about the trade next week. And if that doesn't summarize our season, I don't know what does. Also, last side note, Tim lost this week. I just felt like I needed to get one more of those in before the season ended. That's all I got. Oh, I do have one more thing actually. Chase is already trying to throw the rule book at me. I know, surprising. About the punishment and when it will be enacted. As he is saying, there's no written statement that it was during the in-person draft. I'm going to throw some screenshots in the chat as well as a poll so we can all just take care of this, make it nice and easy, and make Chase do the punishment as it is intended to do. Now that's all I got. I hope you all have a happy new year, and I look forward to seeing you all at Jeff's house in August. Bye.